Hello and welcome to the news. I am Sergeant Bridger. Coming up this evening, APRC concludes a 7th National Congress. Alleged robbers attack staff of a Forex bureau. These and more are coming up, but first we'll begin with the newspapers. Also, I'll be joined by human rights activist, of course, and political commentator Pa Samba Jau later on the show. So let's take a look at the newspapers. The Standard newspaper is reporting that MFDC denies sheltering junglers. APRC warns IEC against rigging December 2021 polls. Damolog to sue IEC, GPPA over failed contract bid. OIC not responsible for compensations according to the project manager. And of course, Dusano challenges lawyer to prove corruption against President Barrow. Corruption allegations, of course, against President Adama Barrow. Let's take a look at some of these stories in detail. The leader of the Kasama separatist movement, MFDC, Salifu Sadio, has denied suggestions that some members of former President Yahya Jammeh's hit squad, the Junglers, have been given sanctuary by his forces in the bushes of Casamas. When the former Gambian president left for exile after his election defeat in 2016, a number of soldiers from his hit squad, called the Junglers, accused of numerous killings and disappearances, fled the country. While some have gone into exile with the former president in Equatorial Guinea, others are believed to be in hiding in Guinea-Bissau or with the MFDC rebels in forest in Casamas. However, speaking in an exclusive interview with The Standard at his base yesterday, Salifu Sadio said there is no Gambian in his army, adding that if any Gambian volunteered to join him, that person must be a clean person and not one who killed people in the Gambia to hide in Casamas. OIC not responsible for compensations according to the project manager. The acting project manager at the OIC Gambia Secretariat has said compensations for properties demolished during the construction of roads in the run-up to 2022 Heads of State and Government Summit is the responsibility of the Gambia government and not the OIC Secretariat. Yahya Sanyang said this during a media field visit of a property assessment and valuation exercise conducted by the OIC in conjunction with the Department of Physical Planning and the National Roads Authority on Friday. Dusano challenges lawyer to prove corruption allegations against President Adama Barrow. Dudusano, an advisor to President Barrow, has challenged lawyer and politician Hassan Martin to come out with proofs over his allegations that the president and his government are mired in corruption. Lawyer Martin told The Standard on Friday 5th that Gambians should not give President Barrow a fresh mandate when they go to the polls in December because of a litany of failures, top of which is rampant corruption in the country. Meanwhile, APRC warns IEC against rigging December 2021 presidential elections. The APRC Deputy Leader Usman Rambo Jatta has warned the Independent Electoral Commission against rigging the December presidential election. Addressing party Congress delegates on Saturday, Jatta accused the IEC of skewing the results of the 2016 presidential election in favor of the coalition government. Now, Damolog to sue the IEC, GPPA over failed contract bid. Damolog, one of the unsuccessful bidders in the $3 million election material supply contract, has threatened legal action against the Independent Electoral Commission and the Gambia Public Procurement Authority. Last week, GPPA endorsed the IEC's decision to award the contract to the Canadian company ASI. The company has been doing business with the IEC for many years and has supplied election materials to the Commission in the past. GPPA initially objected to the Electoral Commission's decision to award the contract to the Canadian company ESI. That's it for the Standard newspaper. Let's take a look at The Point. Gambian security reveals more shaky conditions. CS Dr. Ismaila Ceesay tasked government to get rid of corruption in the country. Let's take a look at those two stories. As the Standing Committee on Defense and Security of the National Assembly continues its fact-finding mission to major challenges facing the various security units from NBR to URR have been highlighted. Bakari F.L. Koli, officer commanding at the Lamin-Koto Army Camp, disclosed to the committee that the lack of a medical unit at the camp is seriously affecting them, noting that if a soldier falls sick, he or she has to be rushed to the nearest health facility for treatment, which he said should not be. He added that the challenges they mostly face are cross-border crimes, mobility, feeding, accommodation, fuel allocation, and lack of modern technology, amongst other things. Dr. Cisse tasked the Gambia government to get rid of corruption. Dr. Ismaila Cisse, the leader of the Citizens Alliance Party, has called on the Gambia government to end the high-level corruption in the country. He was speaking to the press on Friday during his party's monthly press conference in Kanifing. Dr. Cisse said corruption is a big issue in the country, but the government has not been too serious to end it. He cited a report released on January 28 by the Corruption Perception Index 2020, placing the Gambia at 102 list corrupt countries out of 180 countries. He was quoted as saying, "We have dropped from 96 to 102 from 2019. It means there have been no improvement so far as our corruption indicators are concerned. We have dropped the ladder a bit," Cisse said. That's it for the newspapers. Let's go for a break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. And now the APRC this past weekend held their 7th National Congress, fulfilling one of the electoral laws as they prepare for the December 2021 polls. More in this report. The APRC on Saturday held their 7th National Congress at the Paradise Suites Hotel as they joined other political parties to prepare for the December 2021 polls. Supporters across the country converged at the Penchami Hall to once again show their solidarity and loyalty to the party, but most importantly for some of them, to show their loyalty to their supreme leader, former President Yahya Jammeh. Despite some of the hurdles the party has been confronted with since the ousting of their supreme leader, the party militants say they shall not be deterred and will continue fighting to not only see their return to the State House, but the return of Jammeh as well. Speaking at the event, the interim leader of the party, Fabakary Tombong Jatta, said the party's national executive has been successful in forging a new and stronger APRC despite the many challenges they are faced with. Tombong Jatta also called out the coalition government for launching what he calls smear campaigns against the APRC, seizing their assets, among others.
Leadership is a splendid responsibility. So let me begin by personally expressing gratitude to our party founder and supreme leader, His Excellency Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya Abdul Aziz Robbery Our gratitude to His Excellency Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya Jammeh, Babili Mansa, a man who for 22 years endured the leadership, the liability leadership of our great country. His achievements are unprecedented, historic, enduring, and his towering presence in the international community cannot be ignored. On behalf of the entire Okay, all right. On behalf of you all, on behalf of the entire membership of the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction, we say thank you to Babili Mansa.
Deputy Party Leader Usman Rambo Jatta said they have a positive vision for the future of this country and believes that the leadership gap shall one day be closed by the APRC. Jatta, in his speech, sent a stern warning to the country's electoral body to refrain from any attempts to rig the December 2021 presidential elections as they allegedly did in 2016, according to Jatta.
We have already seen paragons from the Independent Electoral Commission in the presidential election of 2016, where there was illegal interference with the election process by increasing the vote share of a favored candidate. It was such successful electoral fraud and deliberate manipulation that have the effect of a forced civilian coup d'etat in the Gambia. We therefore have a much greater responsibility to help maintain social stability during election periods, as we will never tolerate, I repeat, we will never tolerate that kind of ridiculous bloopers by the Independent Electoral Commission under the tutelage of Chairman Ali Momon Njai, devious with ECOWAS, AU, UN, EU, Senegal, and the opposition parties who have mocked the APRC of its victory.
Sergio Brito reporting.
For far too long, Gambia has been seen as a country where you don't find people.
Africa Global presents the new Tulip Gardens. Taft Tulip Gardens is set to comprise service plots in sizes ranging from 220 to 570 meters square. Deposit as low as $83,600 is only an 18-month interest-free payment plan with only 20% deposit on the service plots. Please contact 376-2333 or 776-2333. Tough Africa Global.
Welcome back. And now, alleged armed robbers attacked staff of a Forex bureau, robbing them of up to 6 million Gambian dollars. The incident allegedly took place on Sunday night in Sukuta. More in this report.
For far too long, Gambia has been seen as a country where you don't find people equipped with guns going around robbing people. Well, that narrative might have just changed following the attack on AMM Financial Services and Bureau de Change Limited staff. Staff of the company were going home late Sunday when they got attacked by men armed with guns. The armed robbers fled with an eye-watering estimated amount of $6.5 million. Modulamin Saho, the head of administration at the company, explains.
Well, definitely, as you said, it's so unfortunate because our closed around 8 p.m. Then I was at home till after midnight when my CEO called and told me the sad story. So, which was definitely shocking. So eventually he did told me how everything happened. That his younger brother, who is our operations director, after closing, heading to their elder brother's house in Sukuta. This is where they were attacked by some gunmen, with one of their cousin brother and nephew who were in the Mercedes-Benz he was driving.
The alleged robbers were 7 in number, all armed with guns.
They were gun pointed and, insisted that they should open the vehicle. So when they insisted, so this was when they fired shots on them. So their screen, one of their, door screens was broken. So this is when he was hit with a gun butt on the head, and he, fainted.
A complaint has been lodged with police.
Yes, the police were immediately called, and my boss went to their headquarters in Burford to collect them. Then this is when they came, checked the scene, and statements were taken. So since then they are on the investigation.
The bandits did not only take money, they also fled with office laptops.
All the cash that was in the car with some of our laptops were all taken away.
This development will only cast concern in the hearts of Gambians in terms of how safe the country is. Reporting for the Fatu Network News Review, Jaka CCJT.
Meanwhile, the Citizens Alliance Party last Friday held their monthly press conference in Kanifing, highlighting some of the recent happenings in the country. More by Jakasi Sejaite.
The country still continues to record coronavirus cases as days go by. Most people associate this with the government's lack of efforts in making sure that people adhere to COVID-19 guidelines. However, on the 17th of February, the Gambian government issued a press release stating its intentions to suspend the issuance of police permit to all parties, musical festivals, political events, and all forms of social gatherings with effect on the 8th of March 2021. At a press conference on Friday, the party leader of the Citizens Alliance, Dr. Ismaila Ceesay, expressed dismay and disappointment in the government's decision.
That is the folly of the century. I've never seen such an unserious press release since I started following politics some 35-40 years ago from any government around the world. See a government violate every COVID-19 rule that exists, comes up with no coherent, well-defined COVID-19 prevention strategy of its own to prepare for the second wave, does everything that they want to do. And now they are coming to say, in light of the worrisome trajectory of a new wave of the COVID-19 pandemic in the country, the Gambia government hereby suspends the issuing of new police permits for all parties. All parties. After Wale Seka has already played on Vivian. You want to ban it now. Huh? Music festivals, political events, after you've done your rallies, and after on the 6th you are doing a rally in Basse. And all forms of social gatherings, after you've done your own kulios already. Effective the 8th. I think Gambia has a new coronavirus variant, I think, which will invade our shores on the 8th. Does it make sense? They make Gambia the laughing stock of the world. Other countries are laughing at us. People are locking down immediately. In fact, there are others who are easing now. They've already locked down, they're easing now. You are pushing the lockdown to the 8th because you've already have your planned itinerary of events that you want them to pass first before you bring this into effect. This shows one thing.